Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Louisa and this is Ghost. Stop crashing my videos, man. Okay, sorry about that. He's just gonna chill next to me. So today's video is called 13 Signs That You're a Witch. I mean, probably the number one sign that you're a witch is that you have found this video, which obviously means that you're in the process of researching witchcraft. And my number one sign for whether you're a witch or not is curiosity. But if you have any lingering doubts about whether or not you're a witch, then keep watching. The other side of curiosity is when you also find that the subject keeps presenting itself to you. These can be nudges from the universe just to say, this is your path and you should follow it. So you might start researching witchcraft, but then you'll stumble across things like maybe books or movies or TV shows. You might be listening to the radio and a song comes on which reminds you of witchcraft or which mentions witchcraft. So some of this could be nudges from the universe, but it also might just be because you are subconsciously opening up to the idea of it. And really that's half the battle. Okay, sign number 2 that you're a witch is your intuition. People who are drawn to witchcraft are naturally intuitive. And part of the appeal of witchcraft is that it can explain a lot of things which you've experienced over your life, but which you haven't had a rational way of really describing it. You might just be one of those people who gets inspiration or creative urges, or you might just know that something is for you. You might also be someone who knows when things are going on in other people's lives. So for example, you might get a phone call and you know automatically that it's a friend or a family member in particular, even though it might not be the regular time that they would contact you. Or you might know that a particular job that you're going for is one that you're going to get. Or you might know that someone in your life is keeping a secret from you. You might also be someone who is seen as a bit impulsive. And the thing is that you're not necessarily an impulsive person, but some of the decisions that you make in your life can't be rationalized. So from an outside perspective, it would be seen as foolish or rash. Sign number 3 that you're a witch is having one of the clairs. What do I mean by the clairs? Well, basically those are things where you have extra senses. It could be clairaudience, where you can hear things that aren't actually in the physical world. It could be clairvoyance, where you can see things sometimes in 3D vision, which aren't there, or you see things in your mind's eye and it explains a situation to you. There's other clairs as well, such as clairsentience. Clairsentience is when you feel something intuitively. Claircognizance, which is where you just know something automatically. And these are not things where you can get outside validation for them. Like someone else might not see what you see, someone else might not hear what you've heard, and you can't explain how you know something and you can't explain how you feel something, but you can't deny it either. Which leads me to sign number 4 that you're probably a witch. Empathy. You'll probably find quite a few videos and various things out there on being an empath. What that means is basically that your level of empathy is well above normal. So people's ability to empathize is kind of on a spectrum, and you go from narcissistic personality disorder, where they literally can't feel for someone else at all. And then you have like the normal range, which is where you can empathize with someone, but it doesn't necessarily impact that deeply on you. And then there's the extreme end, where you have the empaths and they feel everybody's feels all the time. So if you're in that category, then you're probably a witch. If you have trouble going to busy shopping centers because everybody's emotional baggage is slapping you in the face, then you're probably a witch. If you're going about your day-to-day business and all of a sudden you feel really crap and there is no explanation as to why you would feel crap because nothing in your particular experience has led to that, but you find out later on that maybe your partner was feeling like that at that particular time of the day, that can be a sign that you're a witch. Being an empath is challenging, but it's also something that you can learn to develop as a kind of a skill. One of the things that you will probably need to look into is being able to create boundaries for yourself and to separate other people's emotions from your own. One of the best ways that I've found to do that is to, when you feel one of those emotions come on for no explicable reason, just to take a moment and think to yourself, is this mine? And if the answer is no, then you can just let it go. Sign number 5 that you might be a witch: introversion. Now, this is a tricky one because there's a lot of people who are actually extroverts, but they have to spend some time alone, and that sort of ties into the last one on being an empath. So if you're an empath, then you will probably find that you have to have some alone time in order to unclutter your emotional field. So you might actually be someone who enjoys other people's company and who is a bit of an extrovert when given the opportunity, but you might also find that you become overwhelmed by other people's emotions and you just have to take some time out. That's a really important thing for all empaths to do, is just to have some alone time and to declutter your emotional field of other people's crap. Basically, it's just a way of coming back to yourself, getting to like a steady, peaceful baseline and grounding your energy. Sign number 6 that you might be a witch is you're a bit of a night owl. It's kind of funny, but most of the people that I know who are witches and who practice witchcraft are not morning people. So if you're the sort of person who comes alive after dark, then chances are you're a witch. You might also be someone who really responds to the phases of the moon. Or you might be someone who loves looking at the stars. You might also be someone who enjoys a good campfire at night. These are all pretty much mandatory if you're a witch. Sign number 7 that you're a witch is you're very sensitive. Now, sensitivity can be an emotional thing. It ties into the empath side of things where you feel other people's emotions, and that can make you react like you're almost sensitive, but it's not actually you. What I really mean when I say that you're sensitive is that you pick up on so much stuff in the environment. So it could be any kind of stimulation. So it could be noise or smells, other people's emotions. You might be sensitive to foods, you might be sensitive to chemicals. So it's not just your emotional body that can be sensitive, it's also your physical body that can be sensitive. And you might need to look into highly sensitive person, which is actually a field of psychology. And some people are physically built sensitive. So research Dr. Elaine Aron if you fit into this category, because she's very helpful. And people who are highly sensitive, it's not just that you pick up on everything, it's that your entire nervous system, I don't want to say the word highly strung, but you do have a very overactive nervous system. And attached to that nervous system is also a processing component of your brain. So your nervous system is overdeveloped and you feel everything, and then your brain also over processes everything. So you can be hyper aware of your environment. You might pick up on things that other people just don't notice. And again, if you fall into this category, you might want to spend quite a bit of time alone. The 8th sign that you're a witch is that you're a nature lover. Because of all of the sensitivities associated with being an intuitive person, the need to get back to nature is not just that you like nature, it's that you actually need it. Connecting with nature is a good way to ground yourself and to ground your energy, because as a witch you tend to generate quite a bit of energy. So you'll probably find yourself drawn to go and walk through trees, or to do a bit of gardening, or to hang out with animals. You might also find that you pick up on the energy of different plants and rocks. Some people who are drawn to witchcraft are intuitive when it comes to plant medicine. I mean, that's not every witch, but there's a lot of witches that are. There's so many different ways of connecting to nature. Even just collecting crystals is basically within that category. Sign number 9 that you're a witch is you have a strong sense of justice. Witches and other pagans tend to be very interested in social justice, and they also tend to be very interested in protecting the environment and doing the right thing. Witches also tend to be people who don't follow the herd, and so they are more prepared to stand up for what's right than a regular person might. One of the reasons for this is because you might actually feel things within your own body. For example, when something is right, when something is truthful, you'll feel a general sense of calm and peace through your body. And if something is wrong, if something is a lie, then you'll feel a general sense of discordance within your body. And this is very much part of being an intuitive. You can actually feel the resonance of a particular energy. So if an energy is positive, you feel it. If an energy is negative, you feel it. Like it will make you so uncomfortable that you literally can't stand it. Which leads to sign number 10, that you're probably a witch, and that is authenticity. Because you physically resonate with the universe, you have a very difficult time being inauthentic. And you also have a very low tolerance for people who are inauthentic. Because of that, you might have found yourself being a bit of an outsider. The people that I know who are in witchcraft generally weren't the popular kids at school. Chances are you were actually one of the bullied kids. The good news is that if you are the sort of person who's very authentic, you'll actually come up with original ideas. Because you're not trying to please anyone, you're not trying to fit in all the time. You actually have the space and the freedom to create your own sense of style and to be your own person. And that's very much what witchcraft embraces. Sign number 11 that you're a witch is you're probably an old soul. You might have been one of those kids that was a little bit wise beyond your years when you were younger, and you may have even had people describe you as an old soul. Sign number 12 that you're a witch is you can tap into energy. This can kind of relate to the whole empath, sensitive kind of scenario, but it does also go beyond that. Being able to pick up on energy and to also flow with energy is actually a really powerful tool. One of the things that you can do if you are very good at working with energy is you can actually find an energetic slipstream and flow with it. So for example, if you figure out your life's purpose and then you start doing it, things just open up before you, and that's all part of working with energy. If you are sensitive to energy, you might find that you respond really positively to thunderstorms because they actually help you to release pent-up energy. And another thing that you can do if you're very sensitive to energy is you can probably read tarot. One of the things that tarot will do is it will help you to articulate the energy that someone else is currently resonating in, the things which are impacting on their lives at this present moment, and also where their present trajectory of life is heading. So energy has like a trajectory to it. When something is in motion, you can generally plot where it's going, which means that you can reasonably predict an outcome for someone. Witchcraft is all about working with energy. And the more you get into it, the more you can develop those particular skills. And sign number 13 that you're probably a witch is that you're ballsy. What do I mean by that? Well, because you don't follow the herd, and because you listen to your intuition, and because you have to be an authentic person, you end up standing out and you end up doing braver things than most other people. You also shine a light into dark corners. Real witches are never afraid of saying their truth, mostly because they know that the truth never stays hidden for very long. Alright guys, those were the 13 signs that you're probably a witch. So embrace it! Some of you might have been born that way, some of you might have developed that way throughout your life. It doesn't really matter how you come to witchcraft. What matters is that you find something that resonates with you. And also remember that each of these signs is not just a sign, they're also gifts. They're gifts and abilities that you can use, because a witch's power is not in their tools. A witch's power is not created from spells. A witch's power is the witch herself, or the witch himself. The other thing to note is that if you have been denying your inner witch, you might find that the universe keeps pushing you in various different ways. Sometimes you'll find that things in your life break down, like relationships or your health or your money situation. If you have a life path, such as witchcraft, and you're not following it, then the universe will make you uncomfortable in an ordinary life. I really hope that this video has been helpful for you. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you think it will help someone else, then share it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Have a great day.